Hey there, it's Krishna, and welcome to the April edition of the 2022 market report. And we've got a lot going on. We have some conflict in the world. We are coming out of COVID, and then we're seeing some things change there. We have high inflation, so a lot of things on people's minds. We're going to try to answer some of those questions here. We're going to touch on seller traffic first. We're going to check on buyer traffic. We are going to look at distressed home sales or distressed properties. And we're also going to look at what people are doing right now to be successful in the housing market locally. How are they acquiring properties? How are they getting their bids accepted? So we're going to dive right into that. So the first thing we look at is seller traffic. And this is a really huge indicator. Anytime we're trying to look into the future as to, what the market's going to be like, we want to look at seller traffic. And right now, seller traffic index is very low. This is compiled by the National Association of Realtors. So this means basically that we just don't have a lot of home sellers out there putting their homes on the market. I don't have the slide to share with you, but also for sale by owner traffic is very low. So there, we're just, we have seen some slight upticks. If you watch the last, market report, we've seen some slight upticks in seller traffic, but not enough to, categorize it as stable or strong. So we still have some work there to do. We'll see how it goes over the next months and report back. And then the next metric we want to look at here is buyer traffic. Again, another, indicator as to what is to come. And again, we're here in Texas. We're in a strong buyer traffic, market. Lots of buyers going through. You can see here across the U.S. It's not all the same, but for the most part, it is very stable. Okay, very strong. Okay, very strong. So lots of buyer traffic still out there. Buyer sentiment is definitely at an all-time low. So people are down about the market and their opportunities to get into a home and changes with the interest rates, but the traffic is still strong. They're still out there looking. They're still trying to get into a home, but maybe they don't like it. Okay. And then a take here from National Association of Realtors, Nadia. She says, while higher short-term interest rates will push up mortgage rates, I expect some of this impact to be mitigated eventually through lower inflation. Thus, I expect the 30-year fixed mortgage rate to continue to rise, although we aren't likely to see the big jumps that occurred over the past few weeks. So kind of a good news, bad news scenario there. And we're going to be still in that, projected interest rate rise over time cycle, which could last, who knows, for years. But we may not see big giant jumps in interest rates. So it could be gradual. So I don't think we'll, what she's saying here is we're not going to see 7-8%, tomorrow or next month or something like that. But at least that's not expected. But they are going to gradually rise. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure you're getting with your mortgage professionals as soon as possible and find out where you're at, what your tolerance is for rising interest rates, how high of an interest rate you can take and still be in the price range that you're shopping for. And then on to distress sales, another indicator, something else you always want to check in on. There are just not very many distress sales. We don't have hardly any foreclosures or short sales, which, the short sales I would expect are going to come in much earlier than the foreclosures because people are getting more sophisticated and understanding that the first thing you want to do is a short sale versus letting it go into foreclosure. So as you can see here, we were at about 4% in 2020, and it is now less than 1% as of February of, so people they're solvent. They have the equity. They can sell their homes. They get in trouble. So distress sales is not playing in to the market right now, particularly here in San Antonio. So just keep that in mind as well. And finally, I compiled some data out of the MLS here in San Antonio. This first slide shows what's happening in Bexar County as a whole. So we're looking at San Antonio as the majority, and then other cities within Bexar County. And we went back 4 years here, since 2018. And I got it broken down for you: conventional loans, FHA loans, cash loans, VA loans, and then others. Those others would be any combination of VA, Texas Vet, owner financing, all those all lumped together. But as you can see, conventional and cash have definitely started to accelerate the amount of market share that they are taking up. In 2021, they finished with about 41.54% on conventional. So anyone that's running around talking about cash is king, you might want to take a look at this and notice that conventional is king here in San Antonio, or rather Bexar County. And then cash, yes, has started making a surge here. The folks that are losing out here are FHA and VA, particularly FHA really took a step back here in 2021, and that trend is continuing in 2022. If you notice here, I have the first quarter in the light blue for you to look at. That is continuing. So I don't know how far along this is going to keep going, but it's definitely concerning if you are someone that is borderline as far as the credit, and you're wanting to get into a home. You need to take notice of this. If you can jump into a conventional and still be successful, that is looking like a higher percentage chance that you will obtain an offer. So check that out. This next slide breaks it down into just San Antonio. I'll continue to look at that at different levels, some of the neighborhood levels. I don't know how many I'll get to. It takes a while to put this together. So if you're working with an agent, they may not be able to do this because it is kind of tedious, but they can give you kind of a rough estimate by looking into the neighborhood. They should be able to pull that out for you. Otherwise, I'm doing that in my area. But this should give you at least a starting point to understand where you need to be with your offers and how strong you need to be with your offers. Going deeper than that, not really possible unless we know exactly how many offers there are at any time and what kind of offers they are that are on the table. So that's about as detailed as you're going to get. So check out my next video on how to get your FHA offers accepted, or some ideas at least. Hopefully that will help you a little bit more as well. If you have any questions, obviously you can reach out to me, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, let me know about it, and I'll see you guys next month.